Guys, Goldfinch is coming off of a high of over $6 just about a month ago, but where is it going to go now? GFI is a DeFi project that gives on-chain loans backed by off-chain collateral. We're going to go over the tokenomics, what the vesting schedule look like, and how do we even know what a good price to sales ratio with this new DeFi economy. We know price to sales in the traditional stock market, but how does that translate over to GFI and its competitors? We're going to go over all of that and more in this video, but first I want to welcome you back to Freeman Finance and Crypto, where if it makes money, it makes sense. Guys, I'm grateful for every single one of you, but if you're not subscribed, please pause the video, hit subscribe, hit that bell notification, and let's get into the video. So guys, GFI, we're going to verify all of this actually on chain like we should be doing, but they're saying they got about 100 million in active loan, $100,000 in 30-day protocol revenue. And when you look at it, they have all these different pools that someone could lend to or borrow from. And you can see, guys, they're backed by some really big people. Coinbase Ventures is why we've all been hearing about it as of late. But they have been doing a little better than other DeFi projects, and I want to see if that's warranted. We're going to review all of that with on-chain data, guys. But one thing that does show that this is a growing company is that they have multiple jobs, full-time jobs, open right now. So when you look, they've got compliance officer, head of marketing, chief investment officer, senior product designer, a general opening, head of marketing. So they're definitely not stagnant, just trying to get the token to rise in price or anything like that. But when we look at it, we could see that we had this spike up to over $6, and now we've been consolidating down and currently under $4. Where is it going to go? I know about 3 weeks ago when we had that dip, it held very strong, even though it got down to $2.60. Within the day, it was right back up to $3. But let's look at some on-chain data, guys. I don't want to go off of what their website says, because theoretically anyone could put anything on the website, and that's exactly why we can't trust things like market cap, guys. If we look at here, it's saying that this is coin market cap. It's 408th in total market cap with a $100 million market cap. And so some people might think, oh, that's a very small project. But when that's not the truth at all, guys. If we look at the circulating market cap, it's 288 million. That's with on-chain data. That's what it actually is. So it's over a 2.5x from what coin market cap is showing, guys. So always go get some on-chain data. This is Token Terminal. I highly recommend everyone looking at this, but let's go through some data. So as we can see here, active loans is down 1.2%, and the on-chain data shows that that's a little less than $86 million. Their fees are down 10%, but guys, don't get stuck into that too much, because we are at a time where the market's consolidating and things like that. Annualized, the revenue is up over the last 30 days. If we look at this, though, this is what I really want to get into. This P to S ratio, price to sales, guys. Whenever we think about the traditional stock market, we have price to earnings ratio. And some things are at 10 price to earnings, some things are at 30, some are even 100. Sometimes medical companies or tech are valued very high on their price to earnings ratio. And that's what I'm seeing the more I look at this kind of data on chain for DeFi protocols. And I'll compare this to a couple other projects in just a second. But when we look at something, I want to look at active loans. Okay, so let's take this off. So active loans for GFI are currently $86 million. This company makes their money off of active loans, right? They're a DeFi project. And so when we look at this at 86 million, let's compare this to another project that I'm very fond of. This isn't an exact comparison video, but I think it's fair whenever we're talking about a project to say, how does it stack up against its competitors? Because that's the only way we really know if it's a good value. And so this is Maple right here. And so this currently, they're at 96 million in overall loans, where a month ago they were at 70. So they have increased their loans by $26 million. So they're at 96 right here, whereas GFI is at 86. Okay, so they've got about a 10 million more in loans. But one thing I want to show is that Maple's market cap is 107 million circulating compared to 288 for GFI. So Maple is really around the market cap that, Coin Market Cap says it is, around this 108, 408th in overall slot. But guys, if we look at this price to earnings or price to sales ratio, this P to S ratio right here, it is at 240x. But when we look over here, their price to sales ratio is at 370. So there's a bigger multiplier on GFI, meaning that it's a little more expensive for GFI in terms of what revenue they're actually bringing in or what sales they're actually bringing in. And I went to compare this to Sushi Swap because I was just like, what is something else that generates money and what is its multiplier? Because this is kind of a new market, right, guys? If it was stocks, I could tell you what a tech company does, what a bank does for, price to earnings ratio. But this price to sales ratio circulating is 108 for Sushi Swap. Okay, so that's a smaller DEX, right? So 108 compared to, or this is at 367 for GFI. So just looking at this isn't really a comparison video, guys. If we look at the token unlock schedule, because when we get into it, there is a max supply of 114.29 million. Okay. And as you can see, 47.7% of those are unlocked. If we look at the unlock schedule, coming up on June 10th, there will be 1.25 million GFI unlocked, which is 1.09 of the total supply. This is not anything that's new. This has been going on for the last little bit. We can look at their schedule here. This was going back to April, March. It's been 1.09%. So it actually dropped in January. But so the token unlocks, the amount of them are only going down. As you can see, they're unlocking 1.25 million every month until next year sometime. So yeah, in August of next year, it's going to drop down about a third or to a third of that to 0.39% of the max supply or 444,000. So if anyone's ever looking for a dip, I guess you could look for those dates, the 10th of every month, hoping for a little dip and everything. But what is the GFI token actually used for? Sometimes we have projects that have a token, but it actually doesn't do much. And sometimes people are just hoping hype and they use it as something to pump and dump and get liquidity. But if we look at it, it's for governance. The GFI token is used for community governance. GFI holders can participate in governments to decide the direction of the protocol. Okay, that's good. Participant incentives. All participants receive ongoing rewards to incentivize their participation, including liquidity mining for liquidity providers who supply to the senior pool, and also community grants. The community can provide grants or bounties to participants that meaningful contribute to the GFI protocol and ecosystem. So there's actually use case for the project. But guys, the main thing I wanted us to get out of this was being able to look at on-chain data. And let me know down in the comments if y'all would like to see some type of course on how to evaluate cryptos with on-chain data. I have a lot of different resources that I'll look at, and I'm here to share it with the Freeman and Finance family. That is my ultimate goal behind all of this, is to make us all smarter and learn from one another. But I think this is a very, very good project. If we look at the previous all-time high in terms of market cap, I believe it was 400 million. So if we look here, the current market cap is 273 million. Fully diluted market cap is 433 million. But the all-time high of market cap is $437 million. So that is about a 0.7 from here, which was when we hit the $6 mark. So that was the all-time high. I believe we will get back to that. But at the end of the day, right now, we got to have BTC do good. Once BTC does good, the rest of the market will get back to these new projects that are really bringing contributions to real world things like real world asset tokenization. And with that will be DeFi lending. And I think Goldfinch, along with Maple and many more, will continue to contribute to that and give good returns. I am hoping. As always, none of this is financial advice. I'm just a guy that's slightly a degen and loves finance. But Please watch one of these two videos up above and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you.